Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. I made shepherd pie and I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. It's very delicious and my kids just love it. So these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using, and as usual, I will be including them in my description box. Okay, let's just jump right into it. I just kind of combine all my seasoning together, regular seasoning, whichever you prefer to use, but I still will include them in my description box. I also included onions and bell peppers, and I have about 3 pounds of ground beef. So I'm going to go ahead and brown this, and then we're going to move on to the next step. And I want to apologize in advance. When I turned the camera off, I did add some minced garlic as well. So now you can see the ground beef is brown. So I am going to drain the fat off of the ground beef, and then I'm going to start on my mashed potatoes because shepherd pie is like layering. It's like almost a lasagna. So I'll be back. So your next step, I set my ground beef aside, and I'm going to get back to that in a minute. But for now, let me go ahead and make my mashed potatoes. I'm going to be including some sour cream, a little garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of salt and butter as well. And I want to make it not too thick, but thick enough where it would be easy for me to spread it onto my ground beef. You will see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my mashed potatoes, and then I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to go ahead and add some sour cream and just give it another stir, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the next thing that I have to do. While I'm doing this, guys, I would like to know where you're from. If you could leave in the comments. I'm from Miami, Florida. My grandparents on both my mother and my father's side are from Valdosta, Georgia, and Rome, Georgia. So if you can leave a comment and let me know where you're watching from, and where and what city you represent. It'd be nice to know. Okay, so for our next step, we're gonna make our cornbread mix. I'm using 2 boxes of jiffy cornbread. So each box has requires 1 egg. So that's going to be a total of 2 eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this, and then I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to get back to my ground beef. My cornbread is going to be the base. It's going to be the first thing that I layer on my pan. So it's going to come out beautifully. You'll see. Okay, so now for the fun part. So what I'm going to be using is 1 cup of spinach. It can either be frozen or in the can. You can use any vegetable that you want. Some people use just corn. You can use mixed vegetables. I use different ones whenever I feel like it. But this particular day, last night I wanted to make spinach because this is my way of incorporating green leafy vegetables into my kids' diet. So, and it's a delicious taste. It's really really good. And then I'm also adding in a small can of diced tomatoes. And I don't need to add any more seasoning, but at this point, if you taste it, if you want to add any more, you could. And also, I'm going to add in about a 1/2 cup of pasta sauce. I just want it a little bit juicy, but not too juicy. So, yeah, it's delicious. So, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. And then we're going to start the process of making my shepherd's pie. Okay, so I'm going to spray my pan first because, as I mentioned before, I'm going to pour my cornbread batter in first. So let's go ahead and do this. And I like to, everybody don't use cornbread, but I like to use it because it gives the shepherd pie like this really good, like salt sweet taste. It's a very good combination. And yeah, you don't have to worry about baking it first because it's going to bake as the shepherd pie bakes. And now you can just go ahead and sprinkle on a little bit at a time before, because you have to spread it out. So I'm just trying to be a little careful. I'm just going to sprinkle it in different sections first. But I'm going to do it quickly because, as you can see, the cornbread is starting to swell up because of the heat, from the ground beef. So I'm going to do this a little quickly, and I'm going to make this kind of thick. And you can also, by the way, you can layer it twice. I'm only going to do this once. I'm going to do 1 layer of ground beef. Sometimes I do two. So that's the reason why I'm going to layer this nice and thick. After I layer my ground beef, I'm going to start adding in some cheddar cheese. So now it's time to add in the cheddar cheese. You can add whichever cheese you would like. You can use mozzarella cheese. It doesn't matter. Whatever cheese that you choose. Now this part I'm going to make thick. I'm going to make the cheese layer thick. But my second layer of cheese is not going to be as thick as this first layer. So after this, we're going to go ahead and spread on our mashed potatoes. Okay, so I'm going to just like spread the mashed potatoes, throughout the pan first because it's going to make it easier for me to connect them together, to spread them together without mixing the cheese inside of the mashed potatoes. So to me, this is my method. This is an easy way for me to spread it. You gotta be a little careful. And see, and this is the reason why I said I wanted to make my mashed potatoes a little thick, because it's easier to spread that way. Yeah, I mean, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And it tastes so delicious. And this is something that really will stick to your kid's stomach, believe me. Especially with the cornbread on the bottom. Yeah, this will fill you up. So I'm going to make this thick because, like I say, I'm only going to do one layer tonight. Well, last night. I'm going to do one layer. And after I spread my mashed potatoes completely over the whole pan, I'm going to do another thin layer of my cheese. And then I'm going to place the pan in the oven uncovered. Now I'm going to bake this at 350 degrees, and it's going to take about between 30 to 40 minutes. So it's almost like layering a lasagna. You know, you do one layer at a time. Okay, so we're going to add the last layer of cheese, and we're going to go ahead and place this in the oven and let it bake. And I'll be back to show you how it turned out. But before I place it in the oven, I'm going to top it with some paprika. Okay, so as you can see, after about 35 minutes to 40 minutes, my shepherd pie is finally complete. And now I'm going to go ahead and dig in so you can see how it looks in the inside, and you can see how I layered it. You can see the cheese in the middle. I'm going to show you everything. It's just so delicious. And I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. This is a pleasure. I love to share my recipes with you, and come back again soon because I'm going to be posting more videos. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks again for watching. And as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.